close your eyes for a moment, just one moment, and imagine that every night, before you drift into sleep, you hand your greatest treasure to a stranger. This stranger takes everything you lived, everything you felt, all your worries and fears, and spends the entire night organizing, filing, and most importantly, repeating. When you wake up, you not only feel that you haven't rested, but you realize that the same patterns, the same pains, and the same unanswered questions are there, waiting for you on the surface, as if the night had never existed. Perhaps you are going through a moment where everything seems meaningless, where the effort of the day does not translate into peace at night, where the pillow is not a place of rest, but of silent battle with your own thoughts. This anguish you feel, this sense that something escapes your control while you sleep, is not weakness. It is a sign. A sign that the most powerful part of you, your subconscious, is working without the right direction. The biologist Bruce Lipton, one of the greatest scholars of the connection between science and consciousness, teaches us that the subconscious processes about 40 million bits of information per second, while the conscious mind, the one you use to make decisions during the day, processes only 40. It's like comparing a quantum computer to a simple calculator. During sleep, brainwaves slow down, the defenses of the conscious mind relax, and the doors of this internal factory open completely. The question Lipton poses is simple and at the same time devastating. What are you programming into this computer every night? If you feed it the residues of fear, the repetitions of worry, the anxiety about the future, it obeys. It does not question, it only executes. That is why waking up tired is not a coincidence, it is a result. And that is why there is an ancient wisdom, rediscovered by masters like Neville Goddard, that invites us to see sleep not as a void, but as the most fertile soil to plant the seed of who we wish to become. Neville said that the moment of falling asleep is the hour of fulfilled prayer, because it is when the imagination, free from the constraints of the external world, can imprint upon the subconscious the image of the desire already fulfilled. What you do in the 5 minutes before sleep is not a detail. It is the instruction you give to the inner universe so that it works in your favor and not against you while your body rests. The most invisible, and perhaps the most common mistake made by those seeking transformation, is precisely what happens in the minutes before sleep. Most people, when lying down, automatically do what seems most natural. They review the day. But what does reviewing the day mean? It means bringing to the mind screen the frustrations, the conversations that didn't go as expected, the bills that didn't get paid, the word that hurt, or the absence of it. This nightly replay is not a simple habit, it is a direct and unequivocal command to the subconscious. It's as if you're telling it, record this, repeat this, focus on this, because this is what matters. And the subconscious, faithful and obedient, works all night to consolidate these experiences, to make them even deeper in the neural pathways, to prepare your body to relive the same pattern the next day. It's a perfect vicious cycle, and you are, unknowingly, the engineer who builds it every night. There is a little-known concept about the chemistry of sleep and manifestation that reveals the depth of this mistake. The human brain, in its most basic functioning, does not clearly distinguish a real experience from one vividly imagined with emotional intensity. If you go to sleep reliving the worry about lack of money, your body releases the same stress hormones, like cortisol and adrenaline, as if the threat of eviction or hunger were imminent and real. This chemical state not only prevents deep cellular repair, but also sabotages the production of essential hormones for regeneration, such as melatonin and growth hormone. You are not resting. You are on a battlefield. Your body understands that the night is an extension of the day's danger, and it prepares to survive, not to flourish. That is why so many people wake up with a clenched jaw, with tense shoulders, with the feeling that a battle was fought while they slept. And indeed, it was. The revelation that could turn your life around is this. The problem is not your life itself, but what you do with your life in the 5 minutes before sleep. Those minutes are the system's programming hour. If you use them to worry, you are programming your future for more worry. If you use them to cultivate gratitude, to feel the presence of what is already good, to visualize with emotion what you desire as if it were already real, you are programming your quantum field for more abundance, for more synchronicities, for more peace. The quality of your tomorrow is not determined by chance, but by the quality of the instruction you give your subconscious the night before. And the practical consequence of this is immediate. When you program your subconscious before sleep, something changes in the texture of waking up. You wake up with insights, with creative solutions that seem to have come from nowhere, with a sense of direction that wasn't there the day before. The work was done while you slept. You don't need to start the day forcing things, because the factory has already produced the right parts during the night. Encounters begin to align, opportunities arise more naturally, and life begins to respond not to your desperate pleas, but to your silently reprogrammed frequency. Behind the difficulty many have in transforming their own reality, there is a silent and deeply ingrained pain. It is the pain of I am not enough, not good enough, I don't deserve, I can't. And what most don't know is that these beliefs are not just floating in the mind as passing thoughts. They are in the flesh. They are engraved in neural pathways, in cellular receptors, and even in gene expression. Bruce Lipton brought us a revolution by explaining that the cell is not controlled by an immutable and deterministic DNA, but by a membrane that reacts to the environment. And the chemical environment in which your cells swim is created, largely, by your thoughts, and, mainly, by your emotions. If you carry the deep belief that the world is dangerous, that love always hurts, that prosperity is not for you, your body produces substances that confirm this reality. And during the night, when the conscious mind sleeps, it is this chemical environment that dictates the rhythm of regeneration. The silent factor that sabotages your vibrational frequency, especially at night, is the dissonance between what you consciously want and what you feel you deserve at the subconscious level. During the day, you can wear masks. You can tell others and yourself that you are confident, that you believe in healing, that you wait for love. But at night, without an audience, without the need for performance, your body vibrates at the frequency of what you truly believe. If you desire health, but go to sleep afraid of getting sick, the subconscious hears and records the word sickness. If you desire prosperity, but go to sleep reliving the anguish of debts, the subconscious understands that reality is debt and works to keep that pattern active. It's as if you ask the universe for one thing, but send it, every night, the energetic signature of the opposite. Nature, in its ancient wisdom, teaches us about this cycle through the dance between day and night, between summer and winter. Just as the earth rests in winter, seemingly empty and dead, to gather strength and bloom in spring, your being needs the winter of the night. The dark is not the enemy of life, it is the womb of it. It is in the darkness of the soil that the seed breaks its shell and begins to germinate. It is in the darkness of the womb that life forms. The 5-minute ritual before sleep is exactly that. The seed you plant in the dark, fertile soil of your subconscious. The quality of the seed will determine the quality of the flower. If you plant thorns, you cannot expect roses. There is an applicable technique, simple and profoundly powerful, that can reprogram your nightly biology in 3 steps. The first step is recognition. Before anything else, place your hand over your heart and thank your body for the day's work. Thank the feet that walked, the hands that worked, the eyes that saw, the heart that kept beating even in pain. This act of gratitude is not empty romanticism, it is a validation command. It tells the subconscious, what happened, happened. I honor it, but I do not carry it. The second step is the clear instruction. Still with your hand on your heart, send a short and direct phrase to your cells, as if it were already true. Don't ask, affirm. Don't say I want to be healed. Say my cells know how to regenerate. Don't say I want to be prosperous. Say I trust that life sustains me. The subconscious does not understand negations or the future. It only understands what is stated as a present fact. The third step is the felt visualization. For just 1 minute, see yourself in the scene of your fulfilled desire. Feel the gratitude for what has not yet arrived, but which you already experience in your heart. This feeling is the chemical signature you deliver to your body so that it works all night in the right direction. One of the greatest emotional traps for those on the path of transformation is the urgency to control the future. This urgency disguises itself as care, as planning, as responsibility, but deep down it is pure anxiety. Many people try to manifest a new reality from the energy of lack. They perform the rituals, repeat the affirmations, light the candles, but the heart races with doubt, and the heart does not lie. The Heart Math Institute, as well as the studies of Greg Braden, show us that the heart generates the most powerful electromagnetic field in the body, about 5,000 times more intense than that of the brain. This field extends several meters around the body and interacts with the unified field, with the energetic matrix of the world. The frequency of your heart, the so-called heart rate variability, speaks directly to your brain and to the universe around you. If the heart is in despair, in fear, in incoherence, that is the message you send to the quantum field, and the field, obediently, reflects back more situations that confirm that fear. There is a very common myth in the spiritual world that needs to be debunked. They say you need to let go of control, that you need to release. But what does letting go mean? It is not about abandoning desire, giving up on the dream, resigning yourself to pain. Letting go, in the deepest sense, is letting go of the anxiety surrounding the desire. It is the difference between rowing desperately against the current, exhausting all your strength and dying on the shore, and rowing in harmony with the current, trusting that the river knows the way to the sea. The river does not take you away from your destination, it takes you exactly where you need to go, as long as you stop fighting it. The current is the intelligence of life. It is the flow of the collective subconscious. It is the hand of the universe that acts while you rest. Secret to maintaining emotional coherence, especially before sleep, is to cultivate the feeling that it is already resolved. It is not a forced positive thought, the kind the mind repeats but the body denies. It is a state of active surrender. It is like planting a seed in the soil. The experienced gardener plants, waters, and then trusts. He does not dig up the soil every day to see if the seed has germinated, because he knows that would only kill it. He trusts the invisible process happening in the darkness. Your life is exactly like that. What you desire is already germinating in the soil of the subconscious, as long as you stop digging with the hands of doubt every night. A simple 2-minute practice can align your heart and mind before sleep, creating the necessary coherence for a transformative night. Lie down comfortably and place your hands on your chest. Breathe deeply, slower than normal, and as you inhale, imagine that the air enters directly into the area of your heart. As you exhale, imagine that you send a feeling of calm, of gratitude, of unconditional love to every cell of your body. Do this for a few moments, just feeling. Then, still in this state, bring to mind the image of your desire, but not as something distant. Bring it as something that already warms your chest now. Feel the joy of having already received. Feel the relief of no longer carrying the weight of waiting. This feeling is the most powerful programming you can offer your heart and mind so that during sleep, they work on the frequency of fulfillment and not on the frequency of lack. Some years ago, a woman, let's call her Anna, was living what many would call the dark night of the soul. She had tried everything. She attended courses, read dozens of books on the law of attraction, meditated every morning, lit candles, made affirmations. But life didn't change. Her health remained fragile, the bills didn't get paid, and relationships always seemed to hit the same invisible wall. What Anna didn't realize was that all her daytime effort was undone every night in the minutes before sleep. When lying down, anxiety would take over. She mentally reviewed all the bills she couldn't pay, all the pains in her body, all the unspoken words. She worried about the future, about her children, about the approaching old age. And in doing so, she was, without knowing it, sending a clear instruction to her subconscious that lack and fear were her reality. The universe simply obeyed, returning more situations that confirmed that frequency. Anna's turning point came the day she understood a simple and transformative mental model. Anxiety is not an enemy. It is merely misdirected energy. The same energy she used to worry, to create catastrophic scenarios in her mind, could be used to create scenarios of healing and abundance. She didn't need to eliminate anxiety, something nearly impossible for someone who had lived decades on the autopilot of fear. She needed to redirect it. Every night, when her mind began to repeat the mantra of lack, she would stop and ask herself, what if I use this same intensity to feel the opposite? What if the energy of what if it doesn't work out is transformed into what if it has already worked out? The question wasn't naive, it was a key. She would take the image of the debt and force herself to feel, for just a few seconds, the gratitude of having already paid it. She would take the image of illness and allow herself to feel, for a few moments, the relief of a healthy and strong body. Little by little, the shift in perception happened. Anna stopped seeing sleep as an unconscious escape from harsh reality and began to see it as a visit to the creation laboratory. Before sleeping, she would see herself as already healthy. She felt the energy in her legs, the lightness in her shoulders, the peace in her chest. She saw herself as already prosperous, not accumulating imaginary wealth, but feeling the security of knowing the bills were paid, the pantry was full, the future was not a threat. She didn't force her mind to believe, she simply allowed her body to experience the sensation for a few seconds, like a child tasting candy and remembering the flavor. And then, she would fall asleep, delivering that flavor to her subconscious. The consequence of this practice was transformative. Not overnight, but in an organic and consistent rhythm, synchronicities began to appear. People who could help emerged from where she least expected. A job opportunity appeared at a critical moment. An old treatment that wasn't working was replaced by a new approach, brought by a chance encounter. Healing came not as an external miracle, but as an internal alignment that reflected in the body. Anna understood that it wasn't the universe that changed, it was her frequency that changed. She stopped sending desperate pleas and started sending the energetic signature of gratitude. and the universe, like a faithful mirror, reflected back the image she had finally learned to project every night. We have reached the end of this conversation, but perhaps you feel that something is just beginning within you. What was said here is not a distant theory, it is an invitation to look at the night with new eyes. Sleep is not a void, it is not an annoying interruption between a difficult day and another that announces itself. Sleep is the portal. It is the silent factory where your future is molded, where the subconscious, that faithful and obedient servant, takes the instructions you gave and transforms them into reality woven into biology, into synchronicity, into circumstances. The 5 minutes before sleep are not a detail in your routine, they are the most sacred moment of your day, because they dictate the tone of everything that will be processed while you rest. Bruce Lipton reminds us of something essential. The subconscious mind does not question, does not judge, does not choose. It only executes the instructions it receives, especially in the slower brainwave states, like the moment of falling asleep. Therefore, be extremely careful with what you tell yourself in those minutes. Be extremely loving. You are not a victim of your biology, you are the programmer. You are not a prisoner of your past, you are the architect of your future, and the blueprint of that future is drawn every night, in the silence of your room, in the conversation between your mind and your heart. Joe Dispenza teaches us that by creating a new personality before sleep, by seeing yourself as the person who already possesses what you desire, you are literally creating new neural pathways. You are breaking the habit of being yourself and inaugurating the habit of being who you chose to be. And by ending the day with this new identity, you are sealing tomorrow. You are telling the universe, this is who I am now, and this is what I expect to find when I open my eyes. So, tonight, experiment. Not as a task, but as a sacred encounter with yourself. Lie down, place your hand over your heart. Give thanks for the day that passed, and deliver to your subconscious the image of what you desire, already feeling the gratitude of one who has received. Trust that the wisest part of you, the intelligence that makes your heart beat and the stars turn, is working while your body rests. And tomorrow, when you open your eyes, pay attention. Perhaps you will not wake up with the weight of yesterday, but with the lightness of one who has already allowed themselves to be what they dream, because the night is not the end, it is the beginning of everything. And you, finally, have learned to use this power.